How do you actually apply to the German universities? This was a question I came across quite often in my one-to-one sessions with the students. I understand there is a bunch of information available on the internet, YouTube. However, there is no such video I personally have found which can let you or guide you through the step-by-step process in order to get you admitted in your dreamed German university. So those who don't know me, I'm Akshay. I run Abroad Ki Duniya channel wherein I try to post the information regarding how can you sustain in Germany, more importantly for the students, what is the thing we need to be prepared for when we want to pursue our further education in Germany. Because back in 2020 I also came here as a student, and these are the videos I prepared based on my personal experience. So those who haven't subscribed to the channel, do so. And without any ado, let us break down this video into 6 simple steps which can be followed by easily anyone, which can get you admitted into your dream German university. So the step 1 is finding about what and where. You have to define what do you want to study and where do you want to study. More importantly, in what medium you want to study, whether you want to study in German or whether you want to study in English. So once you have found out this information, the important thing is which university type is going to be the best suitable for your situation. So typically there are 3 main types of the universities, what I could say at this point in Germany. The very first is known as a Universitäten. So if you are someone who wants to pursue your further education in PhD or research oriented domain, in that case you need to be targeting the Universitäten, like universities in Germany. Those are going to be the research focus. The second is Hochschule or the Fachschulen. This is one of my favorite because during this entire course of the masters you will get to have an hands-on experience, the practical exposure to the domain, so that when you complete your masters you will be a job ready person. The third one is for the arts, science, music. So if you are someone who want to build your great amount of the portfolio, the biggest portfolio, then Germany also has these opportunities available. This is, I would not say the fourth domain, but I have lately started to see that Germany is also promoting the courses in horticulture. So if you are someone who want to pursue your further education in agriculture or horticulture, also there are bunch of the information and the courses available in Germany for such domains. Now the question is, where do we find this information and where do we search for these courses, right? So I would say there is one legitimate platform which is handled by the German government itself, which is also known as DAAD. So you might have also heard about this, that scholarship, but they also have their platform in order to find a right suitable course for yourself. So there could be more than 200,000 courses available. However, they have options to filter whether you want to study a bachelor's or master's. You can define it there. Also, you if you want to study in any of the region, they also have an option to filter this out. More importantly, the course, if you want to study in German or English, they also have these options available to make sure that you find a right and desired course. Also, if you're not able to find the course there, then there is also one of the website which I would say is myuniversitat.de. This is again one of the legitimate website where you will be able to find the course. And the pro tip at this point is, whenever you find your any of the course that you want to desire to continue here in Germany, I would highly advise you to check also the parameter or the prerequisite on a official website of the university, because at a time some of the course may have a different or updated version which are not requirements, which are not uploaded or updated on a DAAD portal or myuniversity.da. So now in the step 2, we need to make sure that you are eligible for the course you have found. So how do we check it? So there is an official website, or I would say the German database which is available. It's called as Annabin. I have also put the link in the description. So you need to make sure that your degree is equivalent to the German degree. If you're applying for the bachelor course here in Germany, the higher school diploma what you hold at this point is an equivalent German diploma. And if you put the information on that Annabin website, then it will give you whether your degree is equivalent or not. So as soon as we know that your degree is equivalent, we are already one level up. But what if your degree, or let's say the ECTS or some of the subjects what you have studied are not qualified for the course you want to apply for here in Germany? Don't worry, I have also got you covered in this case. So there is also program called Student and Colleague. So Student and Colleague, just to give you a short summary, it's a preparatory course, I would say, that you will be taking for an entire year in order to gain some ECTS if you want to study a specific course in Germany. So this is a biggest topic, I would say. Have also prepared a separate video that how can you apply for the Student and Colleague. You can watch that video using this link. So now moving forward, as soon as we know that you have completed the prerequisite or your degree is valid, we will be talking about step 3 is bit critical. If you are coming from India, China and Vietnam, you will need to have a APF certification, which is like a academic evaluation certification, which will be an authenticity certificates for your transcript and degree certification, making sure that they are genuine. So I would say this process takes really a major amount of the time if you are applying for this certification, and without this certification any of the university will not go through your application even if you have a complete documentation available. Well, step 4 is pretty much simple, also a bit complicated, because in this step we have to gather all the necessary documents, because German people literally love all the paperwork. So the document list I have also uploaded in the description. You can simply go there and download it. If not, you can pause the video and note this down. So first thing what you need is your original transcripts. So you have to make sure that you at least have a 2 or 3 sets of this transcript. Second thing would be your CV or resume, which should be in Europass format. If you don't know how to structure your CV in Europass format, you may want to watch my this video where I talked about how can you draft an CV for job application, internship, or even for the admission process in Germany. Next is letter of motivation, which is a crucial document which are going to define if you don't have a or if you do not have a good ECTS in any of the subjects. But if you have done any social work throughout your entire tenure, if you were the part of any committee, if you are helping some NGOs, if you are doing any social services, so in that case you can mention that information on your letter of recommendation or letter of motivation, I would say, and that will enhance your chances of landing your dream university. So these are the basic documents we need for our application. Now talking about the language proficiency, so if you're targeting a course which is like a English taught course, in that case you will need to have a IELTS or TOEFL certification. At a time some university will accept a mode of studies, the previous study certification, if it was in English. If not, then if you're applying for a German taught course, then you will have to have a Goethe certification, which is like an authentic university, globally recognized. So there should be a criteria for some courses that you might need to have a B2 C1 level certification. If not, there is also an option that you can have a one of the additional certification which can give you the authenticity of German language proficiency, which is called as a Test DF, which is like a Test Deutsche als Fremdsprache. So these are the documents we will need to have handy when we want to apply for the university. Well, the pro tip here is please make sure you scan your all the documents either using your mobile phone or scanner, but I would highly advise to use a scanner so that the quality of the document will be efficient and there would not be a back and forth juggling with the documentation from the university side and your side. So in order to avoid this hassle, please use a proper scanner in order to get the documents scanned. Well, now step 5 is pretty much simple, that when we have all the documents handy with us, we need to make sure that documents are authentic and they are verified by any of the regulatory before even you apply for the university. So I would recommend you to use the Uni-Assist. They have their feature available for you to get the documents verified. It is pretty much simple and faster process that you will have to upload your all the documents on their platform, and then they will verify all the documents, and as soon as you pay the fees, which is like 75 euros, then they will be able to give you the confirmation that you can apply to the universities. And I believe for the first university you will have to pay verification plus application would be 75 euros. Thereafter each university will cost you 30 euros, and I believe this is the good platform to apply for the document verification in order to avoid any hassle. And this is how you will also apply for the universities in step 6. So you can use the Uni-Assist to apply for the universities If not, if university is not available, because there are certain courses in Germany which has a numerous clause, like courses will be high in demand and they will have a limited seats. So in that case, you have to be really competitive, you really have to have a good CGPA. So these are the things will be required for that courses. So these courses are typically not available on a Uni-Assist platform. So how do you apply for those courses is by using the hochschulestart.de platform. So these are the courses will be available on that platform. And now you might be wondering that, Akshay, so if the course is not available on a Uni-Assist or hochschulestart.de, then where do we go? You simply try to search the course on a DAAD platform like we discussed in the step 1. When we know that the course is available, but if it is not accepted by the Uni-Assist or hochschulestart.de, then there will be a specific requirement of the university. Like in my case, my university had a premise portal wherein I had to upload all the documents, and after some time I will be hearing back from the university. So the third way to apply for the university is by directly on their website. At a times university will ask you to courier all the documents to them, or maybe they will also have an online portal where you will be able to apply. Now when you make an application, you have to mark your calendar for these 2 months. If you are planning for the winter semester, you have to mark your calendar starting from May until mid of June, because this is the application period for especially majority of the universities if you're planning for the winter semester. And if you're planning for the summer semester, then you have to mark your calendar from December until mid of January. So this is the typical period when the application window opens. What happens after you make an application is there will be a silent dead air for up to 6 weeks, and up to 6 to 8 weeks. So if you do not hear in between 6 to 8 weeks, you can write a polite email to the university asking for the status of your application. Because in my case, I also did the same. It was my 8 weeks still I did not hear anything back from the university where I wanted to study. Then I wrote back to them, and in 2 days I was able to get my confirmation. So I believe this is one of the things you need to be following if you're not able to hear anything back from the university. Now in this case, my pro tip is for you that do not simply rely on one university, because I remember I have personally applied for the 5 universities in Germany, wherein 2 of the universities rejected my application because of the NC clause. What we discussed, that they had a limited seats but they were highly competitive. On the other hand, there were 3 universities which offered me a acceptance letter, and I chose my Hochschule University based on all the parameters what I will be studying, wanted to study in my course. More importantly, my course had an option for me to do the mandatory internship, which was an advantage for me to get my hands-on experience even before I could start my full-time employment in Germany. And if you want to know how did I get my full-time video or full-time job even before completing my internship, you might want to watch my this video wherein I talked about my entire journey. What did I do during my tenure at the internship, which landed me a full-time role in Germany. Well, the last step was after application, just wait and make sure that you are prepared for your next journey to the Germany. So just to give you a quick summary, what we talked today is, if you are coming from India, China, Vietnam, then you need to have a APS certification even before you start your application. Make sure you start searching your course, dedicated course on a DAAD platform or myuniversity.de. If the course is not available, go on a Google, try to find a university link where you want to study, what do you want to study, and when you have the right course, prepare your documentation. Make sure your documents are authentic and they are verified, because longer run it is going to play a crucial role. If your documents are not verified, then this process might take time and you might lose out on a biggest opportunity. So I think this is pretty much it. After you make an application, pay the fees so that your application will get forwarded. At a time, student will just submit the application and it will not reach to the university because they did not make a payment. So I believe this is the crucial step, that you also have to make sure that you paid the fees for the application so that you will get to hear from the university. And I believe this is pretty much it in today's video. You want to watch my this video wherein I talked about how HDFC rejected my student loan, but still I was able to secure my loan for the further education in Germany. So until then, stay healthy, stay wealthy. Auf Wiedersehen.